Assalamu alaikum, family. This is Mariam Alima with another pod of What Do You Know About Islam? So, this episode is going to be about atonement. This week was a beautiful week. We were able to celebrate the life of the minister Abdul Rahman Akil Muhammad, and Minister Farrakhan was able to come and pay his respects and speak at both his janazah as well as Sunday service. And that I wasn't able to make it out to the janaza, but I did watch the webcast the same day. I was able to be darn near front row and center for the minister this past Sunday when he gave an um I can't think of the word, but anyway, it was an unplanned lecture. So he mentioned some key things, stuck out to me. Sometimes I do believe, he's tapped into a lot of different souls and minds at the same time, to where I know he's speaking to more than one person, and what the messages that he's giving is hitting whom it needs to hit, and is hitting them how it needs to hit them. One thing that definitely I appreciated and that stuck with me was he shared his fall during 1975, when the departure of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad took place. He spoke on it, and he said that he went back to smoking cigars and drinking rum and all types of things. And so I love that he mentioned that he fell and had to get back up, because when I fell in 2011, and as of late, and am just getting back up to full momentum of what I feel is really trying to atone for me leaving the nation in 2011, I hadn't known that he fell in such a way. Now, he didn't fall and hit rock bottom, no, but he did fall and he got himself up. I needed to know that. I needed to receive that. And it was so funny because today's Monday. So yes, last night, even after that, I was on, what is this website called? Farrakhan Factor. And the brother that runs the site, who created the site, or is that a different site that he created? Give me one second. Well, there's a letter on here from a brother, Jason C. Muhammad, and it's posted. It's the brother that actually started the Farrakhan Factor site. So he wrote a letter of atonement to Minister Farrakhan, because he too fell from in his own. And this is, I mean, we do know that it's within Allah's eyes as well, because we know what we did wrong. Like, we know that we turned our back. It's like we lost faith. Losing faith is horrible. It's, you know, I mean, I'm going to say that it's probably a sin. Yeah, I mean, you're instructed as a believer to have faith. So if you lose your faith, you're sinning. Yeah. So keep the faith. And he gave some instructions on how to keep faith and how to stay strong, which is stay in your Quran, stay in your studies, stay doers of the word and not just readers of the word. But yes, so the brother John C. Muhammad, um, it was so it was so lovely to read his letter of atonement, because I really, really, really connected with it. And it's funny because I haven't sent my letter. I just read this last night. So I didn't even know it existed. But I too wrote letters to Minister Farrakhan, because I felt so guilty. Mind you, he didn't know that he didn't know that I turned my back on the nation. But even without him knowing, I know I did it. And I felt so, so horrible once I became into the realization, once I came back into the realization of the teachings and the truth and regaining my faith, and so thankful that Allah blessed me to be able to regain my faith, because Allah, you know, He is the one that is over forgiving and not forgiving, and chastising and not chastising, and allowing you to get back to the faith that you had. And it actually says it in here somewhere, but I uh and I want to read something else from Atonement. And this is actually Surah 29, ayat 1 through 7, I want to say. So this is trials purify, which they do. They really do. Again, I know I spoke about this before, about how you go through a trial, determines how you're going to come out. Like, don't, Allah is going to try you no matter what. Matter of fact, let me just read this. Let me just read. So, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I, Allah, am the best knower. Do men think that they will be left alone on saying, we believe, and will not be tried? And indeed, we tried those before them. So Allah will certainly know those who are true, and He will know their liars. Or do they speak, or do they work evil, think that they will escape us? Evil is that they judge. Whoever hopes to meet with Allah, the term of Allah is then surely coming, and He is the hearing, the knowing. And whoever strives hard, strives for himself. Surely Allah is self-sufficient, above need of His creatures. And those who believe and do good shall certainly do away with their afflictions and reward them for the best of what they did. And we, excuse me, and we have enjoined on man goodness to his parents. But if they contend with thee to associate others with me, then which thou hast no knowledge, obey them not. To me is your return. To me is your return. So I will inform you of what you did. And those who believe and do good, we shall surely make them enter among the righteous. So yes, even if you lose your faith, because at the time of losing your faith and turning your back on Allah, you know not what you do. You literally aren't even cognizant of the detriment that's happening. But really, in all honesty, it's for a purpose. You had to be like, it was a trial. So it was a long trial for me. I really want to say it was between 2011 to 2019. I mean, yes, I came back into the realization of, going into the nation's mosque. I never really left. Well, that's not true. I guess I started going back to the nation's mosque in 2006, 2017. 2017, really, actually, to be honest. It was around 2017 I started back going to the nation's mosque, but it wasn't faithfully, and meaning I wasn't, going every Sunday. I was going every once in a while, and I guess it was because I had enrolled my daughter into MUI, which is Muhammad University of Islam. And I know that I really had I can say that it was really this past Savior's Day that I realized, Mariam, the time is now. Atone for your. It was like something went off, and it was like, oh my God. I realized that I slapped the nation in the face. I slapped the minister in the face. I slapped Allah in the face, the messenger. Like that's what it felt like to me when I turned my back. And so I would cry all whenever, like, matter of fact, when the minister came out this Sunday, I literally couldn't look at his face for the first 30 minutes of his, like he came out and just flooded. I flooded with, I just started bawling. I started bawling and I put my head down because I was just so shamed. And he hadn't spoken that part yet, but I was just so shamed. It was like I felt so unworthy of even looking at him in his face. He was so close. So I was sitting there taking notes with my head down. It was like, then I raised my eyes up to the back of the brother's chair that was across from me. It was diagonal. Then I try to look up some more. And then eventually I was able to look up at him, and that lasted for about 2, 3 minutes. Not even that long. That's a fear. It lasted for about a minute. And then I started thinking, and then I started feeling guilty. So then I started crying again. So then I put my head back down to try to collect myself and wipe away my tears. And eventually he got on to he got not even the subject. He just touched on his atonement and his fall and getting back up. So the point is, Allah, once you're back home, it's more so because you're already forgiven, pretty much. You have to learn to forgive yourself of your sins. That's the weight you're carrying around, is the knowing of the wrongness that you've done. But Allah like, He allowed you to realize you're wrong. So that's Him blessing you. He's already forgiven you, because when you didn't realize you were doing, the chastisement. You out there in the world looking crazy, talking crazy, talking crazy. So to that, brothers and sisters, I say, if you have gone through a trial and you haven't gone through it gracefully, or if you have lost your faith and are trying to find your faith again and are feeling that you are unworthy of really accepting, Allah back, because you've done wrong, just get down on your prayer rug, do some rakas. Like, it's for you. Like, he wants you to be happy. All he wants you to do is to come into truth. Come into truth. Say your sorries, make your atonement, and welcome back home. We still love you. Pure of heart. You can be cleansed. So I will leave you with love, light, and clarity, my loves. Assalamu alaikum.